Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
A lot of kids, high school is a hard time for them.
So maybe it is the parents as well.
Refer to me as a truancy officer.
It sounds really cheesy to say. Your presence matters.
And the teachers.
I did it, I finished. I never thought I would graduate.
Find that person you connect to, find that person that you can talk to, and show up.
Welcome to Valley Vibes, your show that covers what is going on in the arts, culture, happenings, and student lives in the Imperial Valley. I'm Dr. Tom Tackey, the creator and executive producer of Valley Vibes. This week, we'll be talking about the importance of school attendance with a couple of our attendance specialists and a couple of regular students. This will become one of our regularly featured segments this year. We will then close this episode with a fantastic song of the week with Jacob and Joshua, who will bring you that song. So, let's get started.
Hi, my name's Aislene Casio. I'm the attendance specialist here at Central High School.
Hi, and I am Elizabeth Gonzalez, and I am the community liaison.
And so, kind of to elaborate on what attendance specialist means, I basically just meet with the students that have chronic attendance concerns. So if a kid is missing a lot of school, we talk about the reasons why they're missing school. And a lot of times we can assume that, well, maybe this kid just doesn't want to come to school, or maybe he gets sick a lot, right? So those are kind of the easy first things that pop into your mind, but in reality, it's a lot more than that. A lot of these kids need different type of support, and a lot of our families need support. So our parents, caregivers, they need that help from us. So we have meetings, we talk about it, and see how it is that we can help them. We also do fun stuff. So we offer incentives for these kids. They can get gift cards. They can get shirts. The whole point of it is to make sure these kids know that there's somebody that is looking out for them and really just wants the best for them. So we're trying to encourage them to be here in school more often, and we have these meetings to talk about those things that are a little bit difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and as a community liaison, I know just from hearing that title, it's well, what even is that? And a lot of people, they still refer to me as a truancy officer. Mm-hmm. Because we go and speak to these students who have these truancies, right?
Right.
And they're oh, okay, so this student has been absent X amount of days. What are we doing about it? And a lot of people think, oh, they're just coming after me because my son hasn't been in school, my daughter hasn't been in school. And they just think, oh, it's a money thing. But as a community liaison, the whole purpose is to be that connection and build that bridge between the gap that is the school and the parents. Mm-hmm. We're the ones that go out there and try and find out what is going on, because we are worried about our students, because we do take a form of responsibility for their success. We care about them being able to graduate and finishing in their 4 years here at Central Union High School. We want to make sure that they get these services that they need. A lot of the time, these parents don't know that we have a lot of services to offer to help them. And it's just lack of communication sometimes. Sometimes there's people who don't use email and they don't get the newsletters that we send out. They don't use Parent Square, so they don't get the daily notifications. Sometimes there's a transportation issue and the parents can't come to back to school night, or they can't come to meetings. There's different barriers that we're trying to tackle to try to make sure that everybody is informed and on the same page. about what we have to offer as a school to make sure that their child is succeeding, and attendance has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that, it sounds really cheesy to say, but, it's kind of like, we always go back to this, like, your presence matters, right? We always go back to, like, attendance matters, but it actually really does, because if they're not here to learn the instruction, and if they're not here to, even socialize with their peers, hang out with their friends, they're missing out. Like, one way or another, they are missing out. And a lot of kids, high school is a hard time for them. High school is difficult. There's a lot of, like, social pressure during their high school years. But I think that letting them know that it's a short period of time that you have in your life that doesn't come back, right? And it can be what you want it to be. So it can be hard. It can be hard. It is hard for a lot of these kids, but I do think that them knowing that, hey, it can get better and your situation can get better, and that's kind of the purpose of us being here, is letting them know that, hey, there are other options, there are other resources.
And you have support.
Yeah, and we're here to support you. We're here to, welcome you. That's the whole point. And I can see why, you were saying that, the truancy officer community liaison thing kind of matches up. And then maybe sometimes they kind of get this vibe like, oh, she's just here to get me, right? And it's like, it's not that. It's literally just, you're making sure that they're okay, like that everything is okay, and that, maybe something else is going on, maybe. And, sometimes maybe it's just they need somebody to talk to. And so if we can, have them coming to school, and then we can lead them to whoever they can talk to with, here in counseling, we have lots of cool different options for students. I wish we had that back in the day. I don't think we had it in high school, right?
And if they did, we didn't know about it.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's like counselor of the day. We have mental health specialists here on site. We have resources even for our parents, parenting workshops, all kinds of stuff that, really helps the kids. So I think overall, letting them know of these services is a great thing.
Yeah, like you said earlier, that a lot of times the misconception about absenteeism and like anything regarding absences is that, oh, a student just doesn't want to go to school, they're being defiant, they're just ditching. But the majority of our students are going through issues, and not just the school issues and the social pressures, but there's students getting evicted from their homes. There's students who have been displaced for many reasons and are now considered homeless, and we provide assistance with that as well. Mental health is a very big thing, and trying to help to provide those resources is a struggle, because sometimes, unfortunately, in the culture that we live in, it is not
there's like
widely
a stigma.
accepted.
Yeah,
the stigma is very real, and thankfully it's very few cases that we have that go through that type of situation. But trying to open that conversation of like, a lot of things are going on. It's not just the pressures of school and passing, but everything that's going on at home, friend groups, maybe even personally. They're in that age where they're developing a lot emotionally, hormonally, mentally. And I even tell them, like, hey, your brain is still developing. Of course you're gonna feel frustrated.
Your brain is so hard on yourself. Yeah.
Your brain is trying to make sense of the world right now, and of course you're gonna feel frustrated.
Yeah.
So a lot of those things, it's not just, hey, why aren't you here? And I want you here. But how can we help you to be here?
Right. And we do actually, like, we get, like, they kind of become like our kids. Like, they become like, you worry about them. And I tell them, once I have a couple of students that, are like, I'm consistently meeting with, like, I will tell them, like, I type your name in the search bar every single day, because I really do worry about your well-being, and I worry that you're okay, and I worry that, if you're not here, well, then where are you? Because a lot of times, if they're not on campus, right, if they're not in their classroom, well then, and they're not at home, then where are they? So, you know, it kind of opens that door for them to be getting into trouble and, you know, doing things they're not supposed to. And sometimes their parents are worried, but the reality of it is if they're not on campus and they're not at home, you know, we worry. We really do worry. So I think that's like another important thing is just like letting the students know and hoping that they would understand that we actually really do care and we actually really do worry about them being okay. And that's that, like, you know, they're not just, like you said, we're not just checking in on you guys, you know, for like, because it's a part of our job. It's because we really, truly actually care.
And we're genuinely forming these connections with these students and families where we laugh with them, we've cried with some of them, and there's even been times where we constantly get contacted by parent because they finally found somebody that listens to them and is there willing to help. You know, trying to make these students and families feel seen rather than attacked for the issues that are going on at home. You know, somebody out there really does want to help. Do we have all the answers? No. All the resources that we have, are they going to solve every single problem that's going on? Probably not, but we're trying our best to at least alleviate some sort of stress, provide some sort of help, and if it's not here with us, we try to find where you can find it, where you can thrive as a student, as a family. And we have been able to see success in some students and seeing their smiles when they actually graduate because they pushed hard and they started to come because they finally felt seen by someone here on campus. And seeing that smile in graduation and hearing them come up to you and say, I did it. I even had a student that they had to wait until summer school to finish all their classes. But once they finished the last class, they could have just left home, but they ran over and they were like, I did it, I finished. I never thought I would graduate and I did it. And just hearing those words,
it makes it worth it.
Yeah, seeing those smiles. Yeah, that is why we do it.
Exactly. Yeah, it totally does make it worth it. It makes it, you know, it makes your job like feel like it's not a job. Feel like it's just a part of who you are, you know, trying to help these kids and bridging those gaps between you know, them and their success. Because a lot of times their outside sources are what's holding them back. So the goal is graduation, right? That's the goal. The goal is getting them to graduate. And in order for them to get to graduation and to really say, I did it, I made it, to then get them started on, you know, their future, the first step is being here. The first step is being present. The first step is accepting and knowing that they are a part of this huge school that has 2,000 kids, but when that one kid is gone, we notice. And we want them to know that they are important to us, that their presence does matter. And it really does make an impact. It makes an impact on these 2,000 kids. So if there's anything that, you know, parents, family members, caregivers, if there's anything that you feel that, hey, maybe this is something that's going on at home, you know, the school can't help me with this, maybe we can. So we encourage you to reach out. We encourage you to talk to us, ask us, hey, you know what, I have this personal issue going on with my kid at home. How can I better help my student? How can I better, you know, handle this situation? And we can gear you in the right direction. We have a lot of different resources, you know, that can help with that. We also have our school resource officer on campus. We might invite him for the next podcast, actually. I think he would be great to kind of talk over the things that, you know, he offers to our campus.
Keeping the campus safe.
Yeah, so I think he would be maybe our guest star speaker next podcast. But so yeah, there's a lot of resources that we offer, and the beginning of it, the start is just kind of like opening that conversation with us and asking like, hey, is there something that you can help me with?
And if there's any Central students listening to this podcast, I encourage you to come and take a part of it and share your story. Join us in this conversation of how important it is to be here to talk about the stigmas in mental health and how we can solve that as a school with each other, make each other feel seen and heard. And just know that even though you might see us out there, especially me, because I help out with security as well, don't be scared. You can always come over and talk to us.
Yeah, we really do want to encourage you guys to reach out and say hi. I'm usually in the office.
A judgment-free zone for sure.
So just reach out. And hey, if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to one of us, you are more than welcome to reach out to any staff member, and then they will gear you in the right direction. But the whole point is we're here for our Central kids. We're here because we are a really big happy family, and we want to make you feel like, you know, there's somebody here waiting for you, and we want you to know that is our main goal.
And we believe that each and every one of you is capable of doing what you set your mind to. So if you set your mind to failure, you will accomplish that. But if you set your mind to improve, to succeed, to become better, even though there might be smaller steps to begin with, you will accomplish that as well. Your mind is very powerful. Whatever you set your mind to, you can accomplish, and you will do.
And I think with that, we will close it off. Is there anything else? What do you think, Elizabeth? Anything else we didn't talk about?
I think that's it for now. I think that's good.
Yeah, I think so too. We want to be we're very excited for this opportunity, and we look forward to the future podcasts.
Thank you for listening. Remember, you matter.
Your presence matters. We want to see you here at school. Good morning. So we're here today with Giselle and Brian. My name is Miss Casio. I'm the attendance specialist.
And I am Elizabeth, the community liaison.
And today we wanted to talk about the importance of attendance and why it's important to come to school. So we kind of wanted to invite these students to help us out today and give us a little bit of their input. So let's see. Giselle, why do you think it's important to come to school?
I think it's important to come to school because, well, you need to learn for, like, what you're going to do in the future. And, like, you need to go to your classes every day because if you do miss out, it's like you're missing out like on a whole lesson that you might need later on in the future.
Right.
So I think
What do you think, Brian? What do you think about that?
I think it's important to come to school because academic stuff and all the people you know while you're on class, even while you're asking for homework, you could make a new friend or know new people while you're in class.
That's true.
Yeah, like the social aspect of it all. I know, Giselle, you mentioned about how, like, your future, right? Your career and all that. What would you tell one of your fellow peers that doesn't know what they want to do? Because it happens a lot. You guys are still young and trying to figure out, what do you want to do in this life?
Well, I would say come to school because there's been, like, for our senior year, there's been a lot of, like, the people coming in and, like, presentations, like, trying to help us to figure out what we want to do and, like, the different career paths. Yeah, career paths. So I would say, like, come to school because that you're going to need it a lot. And,
It, like, opens up doors, right?
Yeah, it
shows
does.
you,
It
like,
really
options.
does. Yeah, it does. Because I was thinking of becoming a ultrasound tech, but then someone came in from UTI to be like more on like cars and hands-on stuff and like welding, and I was like a while ago I was thinking of welding, but then I just forgot about it. But then it brought me back to like thinking about it. So I just like I don't know yet again.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking again.
Yeah, like I got like the wheels turning. Like, hey, well, wait, there's this other option.
Yeah,
that
it
I
really
can
did.
do.
It really did.
Yeah.
So.
What about you, Brian? Like, you think that too? What grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior, so you're both
good.
seniors. Ah, got it. So you guys have been here for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been at Central all 4 years? Most of them? Yeah?
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about, like, our school spirit? Like, how do you guys think Central's fun?
I think it's fun because all the spirit weeks, all the games.
Yeah.
I haven't go to a game, but from stories from the schools page.
Oh, yeah.
It looks good, but I don't come because I don't have a ride boat go back to my home.
I got it.
And I would like to come to one game from football.
Yeah.
'Cause it looks like it's like pretty fun.
Yeah.
All people cheering for our team.
Yeah. I feel like our school has a lot of school spirit.
Yeah. Get in touch with your friends and all come together. We can all come together.
That's like one of the best things I think about Central is like our culture and our school spirit is like super, super good. I always feel like so proud to be a part of something like this because I feel like everybody like cheers on everybody, like even the band, like, you know, they're super, super like always cheering everybody on. So I think that's super cool. And then we have a lot of like services on campus too, so to help out those students. Like, what do you guys think holds kids back from coming to school?
I feel like maybe like the work probably, like they probably get lazy.
Okay.
Or like they just dread coming to school because like either other people or like the teachers or just in general, like they just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Because I know, because some of my friends don't come to school, so and I try to make them, like I try, but they just don't want to. They're just like they don't care. They don't care. So, but I do try to make them come. Like I get mad at them and I tell them because then they're not gonna graduate.
Yeah.
And they are trying, like, or they go to Saturday school, but like Saturday school could just do like only like so much.
So much.
Yeah. Like it's not gonna help you like every time. Like it's not gonna do a lot. So,
It's supposed to be there to like help you when you like need it.
Need it the most. Yeah. Not like every day, like an everyday.
Yeah, you can't miss like every Monday and just come on Fridays.
No.
Like no, that's not gonna happen.
So you think it's like a feeling of being overwhelmed?
Yeah, I think so too. Like maybe senioritis sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Well, like me, like I really don't know what senioritis is, so I don't like.
Yeah, it's like you're almost there at the end, so you're just like,
Like I don't get that. Just go through with it. I don't know.
It just gets easier, I guess, you know, to maybe just feel like you're almost done. So, like you're like burnt out, you're done. But I always just try to remind like seniors, especially, like this is your last stretch, right? Like before you become an adult. So like enjoy your senior year. Like do absolutely everything you possibly can.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm trying to do. And I feel like my parents would even let me stay home from school. So maybe it is the parents like as well, not really encouraging the kids to like go to school and do like what they need to do. So it could be that too.
Yeah. Would you guys say that your parents are like pretty on you about coming to school?
Yeah, my both of my parents are.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you both have full-time working parents?
I do. Like my mom works she drops me off at school and then she gets off at 5:30 and then my dad goes in like at 5 in the morning and picks me up from school at 3.
So your parents are busy too.
They're really busy.
Yeah. What about you, Brian?
My mom works like 8 hours. I see my dad like every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, is he a truck driver?
No, I don't live with him.
Everybody has.
Yeah.
Then that's something a lot of people can relate to.
And the reason why I asked about like the truck driver is because a lot of people do that here in the valley, or they work agricultural jobs where they're far away, and sometimes you don't get that physical support from your parent, like when it comes to school, or that they're on you like that, because they're busy supporting you in another way,
like financially,
making sure that the bills are paid, making sure that there's food on the table and things like that.
But I always like to remind the kids too, like, even if your parent is not on you per se, like, go to school, get to school on time, do this, do that, like you're at an age where you're starting to become closer to being an adult, right? So it's time to like take accountability for yourself and realize that this is your future. Like you're setting yourself up for your future. So like, what do you want out of life, right? Like, what do you want for yourself? So if what you want is to be successful, well then, hey, like start by showing up.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell the kids all the time too, you know, like you guys have totally, you know, it's a different situation at home for everybody, but at the end of the day, you're both here, right? So it's because you're taking accountability for yourself to come to school and to be here on time. And then tardies, like we kind of like, I feel like everybody talks about attendance and like absences, but we don't really talk about tardies. Like, do you guys see kids running in late all the time?
I do see kids running, so like, I feel like more in the beginning of the school year they try to like get to class early, but then like later on I feel like they don't care as much, so they just like walk slow, or like they just don't care enough to go like that fast to class.
What do you think would be a good motivator for that? Do you think like teachers being outside telling kids hurry up, get to class, or
I don't think teachers being outside, because it kind of gets me mad when they do.
Oh, you don't like that?
Yeah, I don't like it, because I'm a ghost, so like I just don't I don't like when someone like tells me something when I'm already gonna do it. So like so I just like I go to class, but I feel like some of the teachers, like a lot of people dread some of the teachers because how they are. But I don't know,
so they take a little longer to get there.
They do.
They're like trying to like avoid it.
Avoid it. But I feel like maybe like teachers, I don't know, like maybe being more like, what's the word, like attentive to the student, or like more like
involved?
Yeah, involved with the student, I guess, so then they could like see that they're like trustworthy and could be comfortable with them.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good, valid point. I mean, I think
creating more rapport with the students. Okay, I just see you nodding and agreeing with everything.
Because like when I think about target, I think it's the same. Like, and now that I'm talking, I don't know what to talk about, because I was like,
but you agree that like that's where it's at.
Totally fine, because that just shows that if both of you think the same, the majority of the students are probably thinking the same thing as you. And that's why we think the student opinion and voice is so important, because we went to school, I'm going to age myself right now, but I graduated many moons ago. I graduated 2011, so school was so different back then than now. So that's why we want to know, okay, I haven't been to school in a high school as a student in a very long time. How do you feel about it? Trying to get to see your point of view. That way we can help motivate students to be here, being on time, so we can make sure everybody succeeds.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of, you know, talking about like how things are different, right? Like obviously when Elizabeth and I were in high school, it was different, different times. Kids are, you know, different now than they were back then. But at the end of the day, I feel like we all end up growing out of high school, right? We all end up moving on to like becoming an adult and doing the things that we got to do. But I feel like nowadays even the whole safety thing comes in a lot into play. I know we've had a lot of issues the last couple of weeks in regards to like safety concerns, right? Do you guys know, have you guys been hearing around about kids saying that they don't want to come to school because of the safety concerns that they feel?
I haven't heard people like saying that they don't want to come because of safety, but I have heard people like they don't want to come because they don't like coming to school.
Okay.
Like I like coming to school because not all the classes, but I like my guitar class and my English class.
Okay.
Because I like Miss Gonzalez. She's like so funny. It's like I love that class.
Okay.
And I like guitar because I like learning play an instrument.
Okay.
But there's not just like the classes. It's like people that you're knowing.
Yeah.
And the teachers.
Yeah, it's the teachers and it's the students, right? That make the big difference. Yeah. What about you, Giselle? What do you think?
Well, I haven't heard people saying they don't want to come to school because of the safety. I feel like they use it more as an excuse to not come to school, because like it could be like sometimes it could be fake and sometimes it could be real. Right. But like they'll use it as an excuse. But me, like I I came to school like when those like the things were happening during the week. Yeah, the threats. I came to school because I really like. I feel like we kind of do have like a lot of safety here, like with a lot of the security and a lot of the police like showing up and like the on-campus police. Right. So I was like, I don't want to say I didn't care because I did, but like not too much where I did not feel safe. You know, I did feel safe. I really.
It's a scary thought that it's something that can possibly happen, and we hope,
really is.
Right?
Like I've seen a lot, like on like YouTube, like on TikTok coming up. Like there was like one recently too. So like we'd hope and pray that it never happens. But you know, the good thing is that, like you said, we have security on campus. The police department was here that same day as well, and then also too, we do have our SRO on campus who's here every day. So he helps to keep our school safe. And maybe that's something that we can actually talk about in our next podcast. But that was another thing that, you know, I was like wondering if that's kind of what's going on, because a lot of the kids do mention that, you know, that they don't want to come because they're afraid or they feel, you know, anxious about these threats. But we want to make sure that they know, you know, we do have the resources on campus to help them out. But like Brian said, like a lot of the kids, they don't come for other reasons, but it's the teachers that makes it like a good thing, right? It's the teachers, it's like your friends coming and hanging out with your friends. That's what I tell kids, like, okay, be like don't come. I get it, like you don't want to sit in class and stuff, but like, hey, you're already here, like just do your work, hang out with your friends, like it's a good time. I really only come to see my friends. I have FOMO. Like I don't like missing out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
So I think like overall with today's podcast, we can agree that the most important thing to motivate to come to school is creating those connections. Either with teachers, peers,
or with your friends. Making new ones.
So find that person you connect to, find that person that you can talk to, and show up. If you don't show up, you can't make those connections. If you don't show up,
like Giselle says, you'll be like FOMO, you know? You're missing out.
Don't miss out. There's a lot of things. But thank you for joining us, and thank you, Giselle and Brian.
Thank you for having us.
It was a good chat.
Yeah, great talking to you. And we look forward to the next time.
Next is our regular feature of the Song of the Week. Here, we cover a song that was created by one of our very own Spartan Sound Productions students. All of the Song of the Week songs can be found on the Spartan Sound Productions YouTube channel at youtube.com/@SpartanSoundProductions. That's youtube.com/@SpartanSoundProductions. So without further ado, here's the Song of the Week.
Hello guys, welcome to Song of the Week. I'm your host Jacob with
Joshua.
And this week's song is Raised by Jorge R.
Yo, Jacob, what'd you think about that beat?
I mean, that was pretty good to beat. I think there were definitely parts on it that I liked, even if there were some parts that was kind of so-so on.
Yeah.
I thought the production was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good highs, pretty good lows.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning, it was more high. It was like a more trippy production.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, like around 150, there was a beat switch, which I thought was pretty good. It went into more like a darker mood, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
It definitely stopped it from being as repetitive as it could have been. And it was a pretty good track in general. What do you think?
I agree with you, honestly. The beat switch reminded me of like Travis Scott beat switch, kind of, but also Fighting My Demons by Ken Carson. That it just reminded me of that. But yeah, honestly, a great beat in general. Honestly.
Yeah, I could see like someone like rapping over that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like Trippie Redd style, as you said. Yeah. Reminds us of
like Mr. Rage.
Mr. Rage, yeah.
I feel like it is pretty inspired by that.
Yeah, featuring
the
Playboi Carti,
name even being Rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like pretty unique in its own way.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so how about we get into some of the issues we might have with the track, even if it is good.
Yeah.
I feel like it is impressive that someone from the school made this beat.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But I do feel that, especially at the end, it got a little bit repetitive. I feel like there could have been a little bit more switches or a little bit more instrumental added to it.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty good track. What do you think?
Well, yeah, like you said, it just got really repetitive and almost boring even, you know? Like, you listen to it the first time, like, okay, this is actually pretty good. But then the more times you listen to it, it's like, damn, it's kind of boring, you know? Like, you wish that person could have made more switches in that beat, you know?
I mean, it's definitely, like, not as finished as it could be.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it was an actual song, you would have vocals at it. You could have ad-libs at it. And 100%. I feel like in this type of track, the ad-libs are really important in that they give, like, the little places that might feel a little bit empty.
Yeah.
You can fill them out, right? For example, like Carti. That's the type of thing he does. Spaces that feel empty, he adds a ad-libs so like, they can be connected. And I think, obviously, that's what this is missing. Obviously, not to say that it's bad, because it's not bad.
It's amazing, honestly.
Yeah, but
it's a great,
obviously
beat.
With any beat, if you just hear it like that, it feels unfinished.
100%, yeah.
Honestly, for example, I've listened to like the instrumentals for some songs.
Yeah.
And I don't even recognize the song because it feels so different from the final product.
Yeah.
Because obviously the vocals, everything that's
you're so used to listening to the lyrics and not the beat itself, you know.
So yeah, I feel like it's a pretty good track in general. I definitely would like to hear more from this producer in the future. Hopefully they make even better, more ambitious songs in the future. But I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So that was Song of the Week by your host Jacob and
Joshua.
And we'll see you guys next week.
This program was produced and brought to you by Spartan Sound Productions. Special thanks to our guests, CUHS Attendance Specialists Aislinn Casillo and Elizabeth Gonzalez, CUHS students Brian Baez Mejia, Giselle Robb, Jacob Mesa Campuzano, Joshua Coloca, and Soren Dorantes. Thanks also to Dr. Thomas Tacky, creator and executive producer of Spartan Sound Productions, the administration of Central Union High School, Mr. Javier Fimbres, and Power 98 for hosting us, and to you, the listeners.